This is an AI-generated clone of the Mona Lisa. On the left, you see the original Mona Lisa. This is a photo as it was in the Louvre Museum in France. The original image was taken from Wikimedia. On the right, this is the imagination of the Mona Lisa as executed by a model called Juggernaut XL. This is an AI model, and the prompt was the Mona Lisa by Leonardo da Vinci. You see the similarities between the two images, although they are not copies, and this is completely generated from randomness, that it was not copied from anything. I generated this image when I was experimenting with AI art and testing what we can do and what we cannot do, what works at what does not work, using multiple models. And I want to show you some experiments, and at the end of the video I'll show you how I executed these experiments. The next is a reimagination of the Mona Lisa, but this time by Pablo Picasso. Pablo Picasso is a Spanish artist. For me, this is very similar to Picasso's art, and it looks also very similar to the original Mona Lisa. Notice the pose, notice the dress, notice the face, but it comes more shifted towards Picasso's style. This is how I see it. Now, the next image is a reimagination of the Mona Lisa by Claude Monet. Claude Monet is a French artist who died in 1926. And you see also some similarities in the face, but she looks French to me in this photo. This is another imagination of the Mona Lisa, this time by Giuseppe Arcimboldo, who is an Italian artist that died in 1593. The woman in the image looks slightly like the Mona Lisa, maybe shifted towards Arcimboldo's style. And you see these fruits that we have here, they are very similar to many of Arcimboldo's like known paintings. For example, this painting is a painting by Arcimboldo that I think is now in Sweden, in some castle in Sweden. The decoration of the entire image looks very similar to Arcimboldo's original style. This is a reimagination also by Rolf Armstrong, who is an American artist that died in 1960. For me, the Mona Lisa here looks like a Hollywood actress. But we see the style is unique. Like the style here is different from the style in the original Mona Lisa. And if we see one a painting by Rolf Armstrong, we can see why. See this arc here and the head cover here, the headscarf. You see the hair, which is in the back as in here, while in the previous photo we have seen always the hair in the front. You see the hair here from this, it's also in the front from the other side. And you see we don't have any clothes here, and the AI tries to imitate or emulate Rolf Armstrong's style. Those are successes to me. I think those are successful imitations for the artist. This is another experiment for the Mona Lisa by Boo Bartlett, who is an American artist that was born in 1955. And here is another painting by Boo Bartlett, and you see the similarities between the woman here and the woman here. For me, also, this looks like a successful imitation of the style. Now we come to an imitation of Alex Gross. Alex Gross is an American artist born in 1968. And this time, I don't think the AI succeeded. We have some similarities. You see the face is different. The face looks very similar to the face of this woman, of this painting by Alex Gross. But also the hair also looks very similar. You see the hair is split in front and the back, as we see here. but I don't think the imitation is successful. We have the Mona Lisa. At least we have the Mona Lisa, but the background, I don't think it's successful. Maybe if I try a different image, maybe if I try multiple times, I could get a better result for Alex Gross. Now, this is an imitation of the Mona Lisa by Gustave Moreau, who is a French artist that died in 1898. And here we see very different styles. We see a different pose. We see like many things are different. We see the more of the body. But if you look at paintings by Gustave Moreau, we also see similarities between the two. For example, this here, this necklace, like it looks like here, this necklace here, and the hand position also looks similar to what we have seen with Gustave Moreau. I'm not sure if this is a successful imitation or interpretation, reproduction of the Mona Lisa using Gustave Moreau's style. I can't say for sure. Now, this is Albert Einstein by Leonardo da Vinci. I wanted to test if we can get like imitations of modern photography, not just old paintings, but modern photography using the styles of old artists. And for me, I can see Da Vinci's style here. Like, I'm not an art expert, I am a programmer, but I have seen a few of Da Vinci's paintings to see that this looks like Einstein painted by Da Vinci. Of course, we see the artifacts here, and which is normal for AI generated images. And this is the first phase. Like, we need to take this photo to post processing and to face improvement if we want to print it or use it in a production system. Now, this is another photo, but this time by Pablo Picasso. So this is Pablo Picasso style for the same person. I think the AI for this photo tried to imagine a more modern picture or a more modern Einstein. So we have the tie here, and we have, I think, also Picasso's style. I have seen a few of Picasso's paintings so that I can recognize some parts of his style. And I can also recognize Albert Einstein. Now let's look at some pop culture experiments. So this is Young Sheldon, which is being streamed right now. It is in production. I think now they are streaming season 6 of this series. It's about a young person named Sheldon. And I chose to use Giuseppe Arcimboldo's style because it's a very unique style. And you see how we got the style on top of the photo of young Sheldon. However, Arcimboldo was a paint artist, and at his time there were no photography. And we got a photograph for young Sheldon. So I think the model here like preferred to go with what it knows about young Sheldon and a photo of young Sheldon, and added the style of Giuseppe Arcimboldo on top of it. Now on the left we have like I tried to imagine a not very famous personality. So I chose Najwa Karam, who is an Arabic singer, a Lebanese singer. And I tried to get Najwa Karam by Alex Gross. And we got a photo of a lady that looks very much like Najwa Karam in many of her pictures. Now these flowery background and flowery dress, I don't know if this comes from the model. I did not see a photo of Najwa Karam in this style. Probably this is copied from Alex Gross's style. And we have seen when we checked Alex Gross, we have seen that we have like always full backgrounds in his drawings. I wanted to test multiple models. So what I did is I asked the model to give me a surrealist living room by Salvador Dali. And Salvador Dali was a surrealist surrealist Spanish artist who died in 1989. And his style was unique, but I don't think the colors in this reproduction or in this image look like Salvador Dali's style. We have some like these tall things here, and these tall things here are similar to Salvador Dali's style, but I don't see many other similarities with his style, and I don't know if this is a defect or it's something in the image. It's not clear to me, so I think this image is not good, although it was generated by the same model that generated all the previous images, and many of them were successful in my opinion. Now let's look at this one, and this one by a different model, the same prompt by SDXL Lightning. And this for me looks more like a Dali artwork or a Dali reproduction, because I can see his colors. I can see many of the things that I think Dali would draw in this chaos here. But we also requested a living room, so we got a couch for the living room, which is not exactly Dali's style, but we got these things here that look like Dali's style. The next one is, I think, more like Dali's style with these tall things here and here, but also it has more living room style as well. So maybe if we ask this model, the Ultra Spice XL Turbo, if we ask this model to generate another image, maybe we could have got a better image using Dali's style. I think this image is the closest I have seen to Dali's style. So now let's see how we can generate such AI images as we have seen in the presentation. I am looking at ComfyUI, which is an engine that runs AI models. ComfyUI is a script that you run and you access via a web browser. So I am now in my web browser. Installing ComfyUI is outside the scope of this video, but I will leave a link in the description for a description on how to install this ComfyUI engine. The first thing I would do is I start by a sampler. The sampler is the engine that processes the model and the input and generates an image. And I choose the simplest sampler possible. And for my sampler, I will add a model. Models come in different types. The easiest to use is a checkpoint. So I connect the model between the checkpoint and the sampler. My sampler requires positive and negative conditioning. Those are the prompts. So if I double click and search for prompt, I find this clip text encoder node. I can connect it to the positive prompt, and I will change its name to plus so that I know this is the positive prompt. With Alt and drag, I can clone this model, this node, and I can connect it here, and instead of the plus here, I change the title to minus. So now I have the conditioning. I need an empty image to start with, and the empty image comes from an empty latent image node. AI models work best in specific dimensions, and for ease of use and to avoid mistakes, I always add a custom node that gives me the best resolutions for the collection of models that I usually use, which are Stable Diffusion XL. My custom node is called SDXL Resolution Presets. Now I need to wire the width between this node and the width here. And in this node, in the empty latent image, I can right click and convert the width to input so that I can wire it here, and also right click and convert the height to input so that I can wire it here. So now this is our input, and we need to generate the output. Now the output, we need first to decode it from AI language. Here what we get here is an AI language. We need to generate it, to convert it or to translate it into an image that we can understand and preview or save if we want. So I will make this a little bit larger because this will contain the output of what we are trying to do here. Now I need to connect the model to my inputs, and first we need to connect the clip. The clip is what translates the text I write here to something that the AI can understand, which we call conditioning. So this will be the clip of the positive conditioning, and this would be the clip of the negative conditioning. So the model will, here in this area, will translate the text to something that is understandable by the AI. The VAE is what translates the output of the model, the output in the AI language. It is translated using the VAE decoder to an image that we can see. Now we need to configure this workflow. This is a default workflow. We need to configure it, and we need to choose a model to use. The AI models that I have a few AI models that I work with usually, and my preferred model right now nowadays is this model, Juggernaut. Juggernaut has specific configurations to work best in the sampler. For example, the best for Juggernaut is to work between 4 and 6 for speed. Now I will do 4 steps of processing. CFG, this is based on Lightning, so the CFG would be most probably between 1 and 3. I use 2 here, and I change also the sampler to this sampler, DBM++ SDE, and the scheduler I change it to Chorus. So this is my usual workflow, and this is the workflow I use to generate all these images. Let's try a different prompt. So what I asked the model to do is to give me a photo of Salvador Dali by Albert Einstein, and I wrote Einstein wrong. So I'm trying to confuse the model. I gave it the name of a painter and the name of a subject, and I changed their place. So let's see what the model will do. You see, we started by loading the model. Then we are translating the positive and negative clip. We got the latent image, and now we are processing. And we will process 4 steps only. So the model started to process the latent image. And apparently we are getting Salvador Dali, but he looks like more like Einstein. Let's see what we get in the end result. So this is how long it takes on hardware that is like relatively weak. I'm using a laptop that has a graphics card, good graphic cards, an AI capable graphics card, but it's not the best of the best graphics card. Now what we can do for now is change the resolution. For example, I want a new photo. And I want it a horizontal, and since we want a horizontal photo, let's ask for a painting of a French village by Claude Monet, and we get what looks like a painting. I think this looks like a painting. Now I'm not an expert in Claude Monet's style, but most probably this is a French image. I have seen a few French films, and images look like this one. So this is how I generated the images that you have seen in the presentation. And this is how you create a very simple workflow for image generation using ComfyUI. There are other tools, but my preferred tool is ComfyUI because as a programmer, I am a programmer, not an artist. And as a programmer, this gives me the most flexibility in designing my AI. For example, let's say I want to enlarge this image. I want to resize, to upscale this image so that I can print it. What I can do here is I can load an upscale. Let's add a new model that upscales this image. So I can upscale the image here, and I load upscale model. There are different types of models, and now I upscale the image, and now I can switch the output from here to here. So now what I want to show, I preview, is the upscaled image, and I can choose my preferred upscaler, and I can upscale it. Let's try to upscale this image to 8 times. So this will give us a huge photo that we can check the resolution. Now let's see. And the image was upscaled, and let's open the image, the full image here, and we zoom in and we see a painting. Now if we zoom out, we see it as a painting, a normal painting. If we zoom in, we see some fuzzy details. I don't think the upscale was good, but it might be good, but I don't think this was a successful upscale. Anyway, this was just an example. I don't want to print it, but you can try with different images and different prompts, and until you get what you would like to print. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel. I produce videos about AI, and also videos for professional developers and for managing development environments using automation. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you in a new video or in an old video.